Long time no see. My name is Jose Antonio, and my goal on YouTube is to motivate you to learn at least one foreign language. But today I am not going to teach you some useful words and sentences in several languages. Today I am going to make a collaboration with Granny Gamer. We are going to make the gaming tag together. I am going to ask her several questions, and I hope she will be able to answer these questions. But first, check her channel out. She is a mature gamer who has a soft spot for games. I am going to leave the link of her YouTube channel in the description below of this video. Right, Granny Gamer, the Australian girl who likes playing games. I am going to ask you the first question, and the first question is easy to answer. A piece of cake. Let's crack on with it, shall we? Let's roll the ball, shall we? First question is, when did you start to play video games? And the second question is also a piece of cake. I am pretty sure you can answer it. The second question is, what kind of games do you like to play the most? What is your weapon of choice?
Hi Josie, and hi everyone watching. Thank you so much for this collaboration. It's very special to me. Now to get to the first question, when did I first start playing video games? That was about 15 to 20 years ago. I couldn't put an actual time on it. My son used to play when he was quite young, and I used to play with him. I was a single mother and spent a lot of time with him. So not that we sat there playing video games all day, every day, but we certainly did do that. And it was something some time that we had together where we both had a lot of fun. And that has continued right through to this very day. And I still play video games, and so does he. He's 29 now. So, so it's just been one of those things that I've gone through patches in my life where I have had other things going on. I haven't had time to play. But over the last couple of years, I've been able to find a bit of extra time. And here I am still playing it. I'm 53. So, yeah.
In my teenager years, also in my childhood, I used to play the classic games, Super Mario, Super Sonic, Crash Bandicoot. I bought that console in the shop. I put the game in the console, and I would go for a walk while I was playing these classic games. In my childhood, also in my teenager years, I had the PlayStation 1 and 2 as well. I also played some boarding games like Checkers, Monopoly. Oh, I really loved playing Sudokus, and nowadays I still play Sudokus. Now it's your turn, Granny Gamer.
My favourite weapon of choice, I would have to say, and I've put some thought into this one, it would be my brain.
I don't know what is your name. I think your name is Sarah, but I'm not sure. Now let's raise a little bit the level of questions. The third question is a bit difficult to answer, but I'm pretty sure you can answer the question. Granny Gamer, you have been living on Earth more years than me, and you have seen the games from the 70s, 18s, also 19s, and the games from nowadays. And my question is, which do you prefer? The games from yesterday, the games in the past, or the games in this day and age?
I love all games, but as the technology's evolved and the games have got better, the graphics have got better, some of the new games are like almost like watching a movie or being interactive in a movie. The graphics are just so amazing, and the storyline as well. So I would have to say that now are my favourite games, although I can still enjoy an older game and have a lot of fun and get right into it. But definitely the games of today. And I had a game of some virtual reality at my son's last time I was there, and he was killing himself laughing because it's so real. Like, you're standing up with goggles on, and everything that you see around you is just amazing, and you can really, really get into the game. It's just incredible. So I love technology, and I love the newer games.
Well, I can say now the games are much better than the classic ones. The graphics are much better, and when I am watching your videos or another YouTuber who plays video games, I have this feeling, I am watching a film. Where is the popcorn? The fourth question is, how would you react if someone tells you, you are a gamer, you are a couch potato?
No, I don't think games are for everyone. Not everyone enjoys playing games. I have friends, in fact, none of my friends play games. My real life friends, the people I went to high school with that I'm still friends with, they don't understand why I would spend my time playing a game. I just love playing games. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that it doesn't suit. It's not their nature. They're not interested in sitting in a chair, staring at a screen. They'd rather be out hiking or fishing or exercising or whatever. But so no, games are definitely not for everyone. I don't see anything wrong with playing them myself. You've got to have a good balance though. You still need to live your life, and you still need to get your priorities in order. That is the most important thing. But no, I definitely don't think they're for everyone. Not everybody enjoys games, and not everyone enjoys watching them either.
There are some people who tend to criticize gamers and say sentences like games are for boys, not for girls. Seriously, we are living in a society where people tries to patronize you and tell you you shouldn't do that. This kind of people gets on my nerves. I don't care if you are 50, 100 years old, half century, 10, 20 years old, 30 years old. You have the right to play video games. If video games makes you happy, go ahead and play these games. And for the people who think, my son is a gamer, he's a couch potato, I'm sorry to inform you. Nowadays, being a gamer is a profession, and there are some people who are making a killing thanks to video games. And you know what? Sports and also games are really two sides of the same coin. They relate each other, and people who play football, basketball, they are making a living. Oh yes, they are really rich. Games is for everyone, and my philosophy is live and let live other people. As long no one hurt you, you can do whatever you want in your lifetime. The fifth question, Granny Gamer. What are the benefits or advantages of playing video games? Did you know, guys, playing games can prevent some disease like Alzheimer, dementia. There is another point that I have to mention here. These kids who have that disease or pathology, dyslexia is a pathology. Games can help them with their reading skills. I am pretty sure you didn't know that. Of course, there are other advantages or benefits, like games can help you to increase your concentration. Games can help you to speed your brain when you have to read them. Games can also help your short and long memory. You have to concentrate on the video game, and that can help your vision memory and also your audio memory. Well, that is only the tip of the iceberg. I am pretty sure Granny the Gamer can tell us more benefits of playing video games. She is the expert on video games. Well, I think she's an expert on video games. Let's find out, guys, shall we?
Playing video games gives me huge amounts of benefits. Firstly, I'd say it's fantastic for my memory, especially as I'm getting older, and I have noticed, quite often simple things I will forget a lot. So I find playing games can really help with that. It also helps coordination and keeping my mind very active. My mind's pretty busy anyway, but it keeps it active, and there's a great social aspect involved there too. It's something that connects people. So for me especially, my son that I mentioned earlier, well, he still plays games, not very often, but sometimes, and it gives us something to talk about. We're always talking about a new game that's coming out, or something that's happened in a game, or something along those lines. So it gives us a really good close bond that we've never lost over the years. We've never run out of things to talk about, because there's always exciting things going on in the gaming world, and the technology and new developments have been absolutely brilliant over the last 10 or 15 years. It's been amazing. So that would be my main benefits from my point of view.
And now let's raise the level of the questions. Are you ready for the third level of the game? The next question is, Um, hmm, you know, there are a lot of benefits of playing video games, but there is also the dark side of playing video games, and I would like to talk about this topic, the dark side of playing video games. To say the least, 3 or 4% of the American population has some compulsive gambling disorder. My question is, Granny the Gamer, what would you do if you had a son or a daughter or maybe a friend who has this gambling problem? This is a big problem because many people spend their money on casinos, these fruit machine or slot machines.
I would be extremely concerned if one of my family members or friends had a gambling or a gaming addiction. I think everything is in moderation. So if you lose that boundary between reality and gambling addiction's really scary because people can lose everything from that. Thank goodness I personally don't know anyone that's been through that. But if I did, I'd be really concerned and I would be really trying very hard to get them some help. And the same with gaming. Like I was saying earlier, everything has to be in moderation and there has to be a balance there. So it's really important for people to realise that, this is a downtime activity. It's a hobby. It's not a life. There is more to life than playing games. So as much as they can be fun and they can fill a lot of gaps for a lot of people that might not have much else in their life. I'm not saying I have, but or everyone that plays games has. But for those that may become addicted to games, they'd be the ones that could end up, maybe they have had that lack of other things in their life that's kept them, on track to think, I have to get my washing done or my housework done or my chores, or I have to run errands or whatever it is. Those things are a lot more important than sitting playing a game. So yeah, it would definitely be very concerning for me to have to have someone that's close to me going through that. I would find that very difficult.
Yeah, this situation is a hard one, and playing video games can be very addictive indeed. Well, if games is one of your hobbies and you can control your life, you can differentiate or tell apart between having fun or having a blast playing video games and do your duties. So that is fine, but there are some people who cross the line. Actually, I had a friend who play all day long, all day night video games. He didn't sleep, he didn't go to school, and he didn't admit he had a big problem at the moment. So nowadays he's doing fine, and he can control himself. And the next question, Granny the Gamer. This is also a difficult one. As you know, there is another problem. The game piracy. There are some people who don't like spending a lot of money. They download the video games for free, and so the other day I read an article that the game industry lose $50 million per year. Well, that is what we know. So we only know what we watch in the media, and what we read in some social networks is that what we know, but we don't know what happens about this topic. This is a federal crime in the USA. You live in Australia. I don't know if the game piracy is a big problem in your country. Last but not least, do you think games can affect your behavior? There are some kids who are very aggressive. They play aggressive and brutal video games, and they hit their classmates at school. Okay, from my point of view, I think kids shouldn't play aggressive and brutal, violent video games. Adults can differentiate between okay, I am playing an aggressive video game that is a fiction. I am not going to hurt anyone. I am not going to emulate what I see in the screen of a video game. What do you think about this topic?
I don't blame the gaming companies for bringing out aggressive games, or I wouldn't blame them either if someone played games and went and acted those things out in real life, because that person has probably got those tendencies deep within them, and they could just as easily do it from watching a movie or from other types of influences. So I think there's a lot of people that can play a lot of violent games or a lot of brutal games or horror games, and they're completely fine with it. It's not going to affect their personality or the way they live their life or their morals. But people that may be a little bit unbalanced or a little bit unstable, it's just going to take something that may trigger something within them, and they're going to act that out. For example, I have heard of, like the game Grand Theft Auto, I have heard of people stealing cars and driving like maniacs down the street and that kind of thing. I can't blame Grand Theft Auto at all. I mean, I think that's actually quite a fun game that I know that's one. I know people that play that game and they certainly don't drive that way. So it comes back to the person. If it's a child or a minor that's playing that game, or someone that's a little bit unstable, then they do need to be supervised, and they need to be, I wouldn't advise anyone playing a game like that unless they clearly know the difference between reality and, what is and isn't acceptable, and what is and isn't safe in the world. So, yeah, I don't think that it would be right. At the end of the day, gaming companies are there to make money. They're a business, and if they're getting a good sales and that's the kind of things the audience want, then they're going to bring out that kind of content. Just as we watch the news every night and you see it full of violence and horrible things going on in the world. So that is the reality of the world. But again, people need to know that, you know, if you're going to play a violent game, it is not an excuse to go out and be violent. No way. That's something that, yeah, like I say, that person has got an issue there, and that would come out in other ways. You know, they may go get drunk with a group of friends and just turn aggro. I mean, I've seen things like that happen too. So, yeah, I don't believe at all that it's the gaming companies. I don't blame them at all for that. So for anyone that hasn't already picked up my accent, I'm Australian, and I haven't come across any gaming piracy here. I think we're pretty strict with it, and the people I know, and from what I've ever heard, it's generally downloadable games like on companies called Steam or Itch or Epic. So you actually go on there and you pay for the game, and it's a digital format, so it downloads onto your computer. So no, I've never come across any video piracy at all. I mean, songs is a bit different, but not with games, because you generally need like a key, a code or something like that, or it needs to be attached to an account. So yeah, I'm not sure, but personally I've never had any kind of contact or even heard anything really much being talked about it here, so which is a good thing. Thanks, Josie, for the opportunity of making this video. It's been really good, and it's really got my brain thinking, you know, because you've asked me some quite challenging questions there. So I hope that you all enjoy the answers. If anyone wants to discuss anything with me further, feel free. I'm always open for a chat, in case you couldn't tell. So thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, thanks again, Josie. Bye.